Hey, let's go. You have just tuned in to an episode of Mentality. Mentality is a show basically where you have two males and you have two females. And basically, what we do is we go over different topics, different things that's going on in the world, different things that may be going on in our lives. And we basically give you the male mentality on it and a female's mentality on it. So, with that being said, we're going to go ahead and get started. Before we turned the cameras on here tonight, we were talking about the tax season. And I see a lot of y'all that ain't been lit all year. All of a sudden lit.
You know it's time.
All of a sudden going on trips.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, riding big,
Getting their hair done.
AC on with the windows down.
Yeah.
And they found them joints early.
I'm gonna say this once. I ain't gonna say it no more. People that make real money ain't excited about tax time, and I'm gonna leave that alone.
And
It's the 1099.
And I said what I said, but I ain't gonna say it on camera. My name is Jenkins Bartholomew.
We do not need the block hot
at all.
Shoot.
The block just
At
got
all.
cold, so we need
Real
the block
talk.
to stay that way. But it's crazy. It's crazy because the conversation of basically, I was talking to a friend of mine's, and they were basically saying their child's father had asked them for some of that child.
Half of that, at least. Yes, sir.
But he don't do nothing. So I was like, yeah, you're a business owner. That's really reimbursing you for real, for real.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Because as a business owner, we gotta pay. When I'm 10-9, I ain't seen the return since 21.
Man, what?
I ain't
For
seen
real.
one since about 2016.
Right.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
when I finally did get one, it was like $100. Want no money for real.
Man,
Mhm.
carpool was my last return that I seen. But since them 1099s gotta be turned in, and then I pulled out some stock this year.
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
you gotta add that.
oh
Mhm.
man,
Yes, you do.
yeah.
Yes, you do.
That Robin Hood sent that thing over. I was like, oh.
Exactly why I ain't touching it yet. That's a whole new bracket. I ain't ready for it.
Hey, bruh.
No,
And I ain't
sir.
pull out nothing light either,
No,
man.
sir.
That was crazy. But
Congratulations.
Like, yeah,
it's
bro,
going
nice.
right back. It's going right back.
Yes, sir.
Let's go ahead and introduce the cast. I am LA James on Instagram. I am LA Jets on Cash App. I am LA Jets 91 if you want to be a blessing. And then we have to my left.
I am Rarri, Mr. 458, the Life Company Fitness. Also, Team Rarri V12 for the fitness tip. You already know TLC Fitness for the Cash App if you know.
And to my other left.
It's your girl, Miss AJ _Miss AJ on Instagram _Studio 919 on everything else.
Mhm.
And to my other left.
I'm Miranda _iStyle on Instagram.
Yeah. She got that.
She got that.
She got that.
fly
I
bag.
make money.
Right.
She got that. I make money profile pic on the beach in the middle of an ocean somewhere.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? With the leg out like that.
Real
Yeah. But yeah, tax season. That's that tax season. The funny thing is, some of them exes start to come back around when that tax money. You know what I'm saying? You nigga know you got that tax money. You know you got a new couch set.
But like she said though, man, like the ones that's making real money, we ain't really tripping on the
Hell
taxes.
no.
That's just
Not at all.
bonus.
We wait till the deadline.
Yes.
Man, what I found yesterday.
We wait till the deadline. Listen,
Nah.
listen, man.
And my account went up. I said, I'm gonna have to look into some other avenue.
Hey, when
Everybody
you find one,
counting
I
it up.
need one because.
Yeah.
You better find a cousin.
Right.
But the cousins, this new that I got, I need a professional. I don't want to be like Steve Harvey down the line. Steve Harvey had
Yeah.
the owed
That's
like
crazy.
25 mil
Yeah, because the account was stealing from him.
and then
Yeah.
died.
Yo, that's wild. Imagine living good. And you
Like
never
that's
get
the
caught.
crazy part.
Nah,
The nigga died. So yeah, that's crazy.
I don't know. I gotta watch my own bread
Yeah.
Yeah,
I file it
facts.
myself.
for real.
I
Do-
pay her, but I file it myself.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Do y'all use auto pay?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do.
Auto pay
On
for what?
everything.
Yeah, for the big stuff.
I put everything on auto pay.
Yeah.
Take it.
Yeah,
Nope.
I do.
I don't want nothing in the mail saying you forgot to pay
Well,
something. Nah.
I
take
know.
it.
I know me like the big thing like mortgage though. I do that myself. Like I can't forget that. You know what I'm saying? But the other things like all that stuff automatic, like phone bill, all that other stuff.
Mhm.
Yeah, I got to keep that automatic. Too much
Mm-mm.
stuff be
You
going
said
on.
no?
Shoot, I still be I be like, damn, like AT&T just took out. I'm like, forgot I thought y'all took out already. Like I
Oh,
said, I don't
nah.
remember. And then you get certain perks when you go on auto pay.
Yeah, you get
So you
discount.
get
I
discounts
take
and
them
stuff.
$5. I need all my dollars. I
Yeah,
need too much type A personality for it to be on
So-
auto pay.
So a friend of mine was just telling me I still have a broke or impoverished mentality because I pay when to turn off. Hey, when to
Okay,
turn
I
off,
ain't- Yo, that's wild.
I gotta pay everything. I gotta watch it because I've been there where it take out too much, or it's a new fee that they ain't tell me about, and then I
Hey,
gotta
look.
call and say, y'all don't really supposed to put that fee on? And they're like, nah. So it's like I gotta call, man. I just still
waiting
there, man.
to pay your light bill when your lights turn.
No, hold
on.
on.
Different.
The utilities
It's in
is
the dark.
different.
Yeah, it's about that time.
So now he choosy. Now he's picking and choosing.
Listen, the utilities is
Can't
different.
pick and choose. Dog.
But everything else, I have to sign off.
I would say my
I'm not there yet.
My
I'm not
entire
there
life
yet.
is on auto pay.
Really?
Yeah,
that means
because-
you got it. That means you got
Because
it.
I know it's in there. You gonna take it
You
anyway.
gotta put it in there. Yeah.
It's in. They gonna take
That
it
means
anyway.
it's, I gotta move it over here to move it over here.
I mean, it's also all on how you pay bills, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If you pay all your bills on time, you might as well do auto pay.
Yeah.
It ain't no excuse. Man.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, it be on time. It just be like on that cutoff. It be
Yo.
right on the cusp
Come
of,
on, man.
hey, we about to turn it off.
No.
So while we talk about finances, something that has been becoming a topic on a lot of podcasts, different just even private conversations I've been hearing more and more, especially with the economy going the way that it's going. The 50-50 conversation has been coming up a lot.
Mhm.
And I wanted to talk to you all about that. And I wanted to see, is 50-50 ideal? Is it realistic? Does it work? Is your situation 50-50? Like, what are you all's viewpoints on relationships or marriage or whatever being 50-50 on the finance side of the game? And then we'll move over to the emotional and the mental. But I want to start off, since we started on the financial side,
Mhm.
I want to start off with the financial, then we'll move over to the other. So we'll go with Rarri, Miss AJ, and then Miranda.
Honestly, though, in the household, the real structure is it's never 50-50.
Right.
Mm.
Right.
It can never be 50-50 down the line. It ain't. I don't know anybody that go through all their bills and just literally split it in half.
You got people like
Yeah,
that though.
I got some.
I know
Yeah,
somebody
but
like
we
that.
ain't, being grown, you
super petty,
ain't,
but-
that ain't what we doing, right?
Mhm.
So I just always feel like the male take the bigger bill, right? The
Yeah.
biggest of the bills. You know what I'm saying? If you want to be the leader, show that you're the leader, right?
Right.
And it all depends on the structure of your relationship. Now, if you and your significant other is just helping each other come up and helping each other win, if that's what works, that's just what works.
Right.
You know what I mean? All the little things like cable or whatever, typically that's the stuff that the women take care of. The male typically take care of the rent or the mortgage.
In your situation.
Hmm?
In your situation.
I mean, what was your
I
situation?
don't have one.
Oh.
I'm saying you're saying.
I mean, I'm not gonna talk about my
No.
personal situation.
No. What I'm saying is you're saying that this is what you believe is best or ideal.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
no,
Okay.
for sure. I mean, if you in a relationship, and first of all, if y'all living together, then y'all deep. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
Y'all deep in it, and those are the foundations y'all supposed to have in play before y'all even make that move.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? I always feel like the man should come from a situation where he has held everything down on his own for a while to
Mhm.
see what can be done,
Mhm.
see what he can handle, see what his
Agreed.
money looking like, see what you know, just the whole structure. So when somebody come into your life, you know what I'm saying, you already know, like, you just moving in. I've been doing
It's
this.
an
Yeah, you keep doing
addition.
what you're doing.
Yeah, you did the
Right.
addition. So like, if you want to add the Netflix, the Hulu, the all that, like
You
you
can do
can
that.
handle all that. I ain't really into that, but
Mhm.
you know, if you want to add all of that, that's just extra. You know what I'm saying? Additional stuff. You know, it's just like I said, it just all depends on the situation. Now, if y'all going into something together, and you know it's kind of outside of your range in a way, but it's something that y'all can do collectively together, that's a whole different story. That's y'all agreement. You know what I
Right.
mean? So it just all depends on the household of what works for that couple. Relationships got, you know, everybody got different rules, and 50-50 ain't bad for everybody. Even if they do 50-50, some people like, shoot, I was doing 100 by myself, I'll take 50
Mhm.
in a heartbeat. You know what I'm saying? So you got to pick your poison, you know what I'm
Right,
saying? And
right,
when you
right.
with the person that you love and the person that you with, you don't nitpick over that.
Yeah.
You know
So,
what I mean?
before we move on, what a woman makes, is that your concern going into a situation? Like, do you have a cap or a minimum of, I need my partner to be, have you even thought about that? Like, have you put into your mind, like, I need them to at least be bringing this in annually? Like, has that ever been a thought?
I think it's different for guys versus
yeah, for
Right,
guys,
that's what I want. I'm gonna ask
just
y'all too.
based on my experiences, we can just talk about relationships. You know, all of, like, there's certain relationships that I've been in. I've been in relationships where somebody was doing really well, or somebody was doing good, but they wasn't doing what they were supposed to do with their money. It's a big thing, right? So like,
So you more so look for practice more than an amount.
oh yeah, you gotta have a foundation. You gotta
Yeah.
understand that. You
Yeah.
gotta understand the value of a dollar, and that's when
Mhm.
you'll know where to put it.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? Like, if you just spending freely and you like, God got it.
Jesus, take the wheel.
God will make sure I'm straight.
God got it.
Right. He will make sure I'm straight.
God got it. You talking about? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, nah, it ain't that. I mean, that's a part of it. Let's not say that. That's a part of it, but that's not the reality of things. You have to handle that. You have to be smart on like what you're doing with your money at all times in order to like progress in anything. That's
Especially in
with
this
yourself,
economy.
and that's with your spouse as well. Like,
Mhm.
you just being smart with money, that'll make your, I'm speaking from a girl standpoint, that'll make your man feel good, and he ain't got to speak on it. He like, oh shoot, she doing good. Like, we just want to see y'all be able to handle y'all money the right way, and that makes us want to help y'all more.
Right.
You know what I mean? Not always, I ain't got this, I ain't got that. Well, why? Oh, I went out with the girls and we had some drinks and I done did this and I done did that. You know what I'm saying? Just little kid stuff. Like, I'm not trying to raise a, you know what I'm saying, a
Right,
daughter.
right.
Like, but at
Right.
the end of the day, like, if I make them decisions, I don't have that back.
Right.
I'm a
Right,
man.
right,
I gotta
right.
learn from it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So sometimes the hard way is, well, I ain't got it. You gotta learn from it.
All right,
For
guys.
real, because once you touch the hot stove, you learn what
Yeah.
comes from that, and you don't do it again. Hopefully.
Miss AJ?
I don't know. It's a sticky conversation. Cause like Rarri said, it depends on your situation, depends on how much money both parties make,
Right.
because you might not be able to make enough to cover the 50. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
And it's like,
Right.
so say for example, I'm gonna throw it out there, right? Say for example, a couple buys $1 million house, right? And the wife is the one that has the income that qualified for the $1 million house. He might not be able to make up that 50 for the mortgage, but he might be able to do the other stuff.
Gotcha.
You know, so it's like, it depends on what lifestyle you're trying to live.
So you're more so on the side of 50-50 it's not realistic.
It can be if you live, and this is why you have to be careful who you date too, because if you have $1 million, lifestyle mindset, and then somebody don't, you can't be 50-50.
Right.
So you have to, it kind of plays a part.
Yeah.
You can't.
That's why I say it's never really 50-50 though.
Yeah.
It's never really 50-50. Like, and that's if you only talking from a money standpoint.
Right. I'm just talking about finances.
That
Strictly
fit,
finances.
I'm about to say, because that 50-50 could come from somewhere else.
Oh yeah, no, I'm just
You
talking
know,
about strictly
okay,
finances. And we talked about this
starting there,
before.
then we'll go over too.
For sure.
Right.
For sure.
And we talked about this in the the podcast before this, dating outside of your tax bracket.
Right.
And I say that a lot.
Right.
Like as you get older, it's almost impossible to do that because you want to go to Dubai and she want to go to Miami.
Right.
It's like, it's like,
Right.
yeah, it's not the
Yeah,
same.
But
it can definitely be a deal breaker. Now.
Yeah, it can definitely put a strain on your relationship too because if
That's
they can't
why
afford to
those-
go, it can
Yeah,
cause
that's
a
why that
strain.
conversation is like you have to have those conversations before those big moves are made.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Because you don't want to get into something and now money is the reason why your relationship don't work.
Yeah.
I've seen it fail plenty of times.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? And the version from both ends be different. Oh, he ain't got the money, this, that, and the third. Oh, all she wants from me is for my money.
Yeah.
Like, nah, talk about it from the beginning so it can just work how it's supposed to work. Sometimes you can't go for that big house right now. You got to start small, and then that equity will fill in the rest.
Right.
Yeah, you got to build in all ways.
Miranda?
In this day and age, I don't think it's necessarily 50-50 actually works,
Yeah.
to be honest. This is not the same way that our parents grew up. This is not the same way that our grandparents grew up. It's just not the same.
Yeah.
But I think what it boils down to is, like Rarri said, the practices. If you make $30,000 a year and you can practice making that work, that's cool. And your partner should be okay with taking up the slack.
For sure.
But I think just what it boils down to is the practice with your money.
Right. And that's what I wanted to kind of get into because sometimes it's not so much about when the 50-50 and I'll answer before I go into that thought because I want to cross talk one of your points. My always ideal or plan for myself is I always say whatever I have when I meet the person is what we'll move into first because I know that I can take care of it alone.
Right.
Because when you get married or even when you're seriously dating, you have a kid, that kid could really pull your significant or the lady out of work.
For
and
sure.
you never really know when.
Yeah.
Right.
You could plan for, we'll do it on the 8th month or you never know what that kid's gonna do to your body. So I like to know that whatever we live in first, I can deal with everything
100%.
by myself
100%.
because and in the first 5 years, her money is her money, my family's the family's money. That's how I look at it.
And that's the same thing I was saying. Like the man should figure out what he can handle first.
Right.
Like you know what I'm saying. At this day and age, honestly, as we get older, if you're single and you're older, 9 times out of 10, you may have a house first by yourself. You know what I mean. You just don't wait to get with somebody just to get a house.
Right.
So I mean, it's the same thing with rent too. Let's not just say. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
Same thing with
Only.
rent. Rent just as high as mortgage. So if you can handle rent, you damn sure can
Well,
handle.
even if we move into a house together and it's a new one, I want to be able to take care of that by myself.
Facts.
Just because, like, I just really them first 5 years, I want her money to be her money because that money, because I do believe, like as it relates to marriage, I do use the Bible as a guideline.
Right.
So, like when the Bible speaks about her being like a helpmeet, she can't be a helpmeet if her whole check is accounted for. That's why I never understood the 50-50 thing because if her income is let's not do the her and him for right now because certain setups are different. Sometimes the woman is the provider or whatever. Whoever is not the sole provider, their whole check cannot be accounted for.
Right.
It's not wise because at the end of the day, with the economy that we're in and with just things happening, you can have a car accident and be put out of work. You get laid off, anything. You want to have at least one income to be able to fall on during hard times. That's why I never thought the 50-50 was, because I've seen marriages where everybody's income is accounted for.
Right.
When hard times come,
Right.
it's done. You're over.
Let me I'm gonna piggyback off of that. Like in this day and age, like when we're talking about like living situations, with the housing market being as crazy as it is, like it's not many people that can control the whole house by themselves. So that's why I said it's not going to be 50-50. It's going to be maybe, you know what I'm
Right,
saying,
right,
a little
right,
bit different,
right,
where
right.
the guy takes the most, much as
Right.
he can.
Right.
You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Because the market is so crazy. So
No.
say for instance, if you was living by yourself in an apartment, say for instance you had a 1-bedroom apartment, say for instance it was 1,400. You ain't gonna get no good house that's 1,400 a
Mhm.
month right now. You
Yeah,
feel
not
me?
even close.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, dang, to even get the house that you kind of want, can you do
And even if you
2,800?
do,
Right.
that extra stuff.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
everything
Yeah,
else
they
is
just the
going
mortgage,
everything
yeah.
else is gonna add in. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what do you do? Like, all right, so say for instance, like, all right, you do 2,800. If you do 2,800 a month, shoot, your whole check might be accounted for. That ain't saying if you got your car note, everything else.
Insurance.
I mean, your
But
other
even-
business adventures,
Yeah.
like your
Anything.
money tied up in the stocks, like what do you do?
But even if, and I do agree that it's probably not realistic that you can handle everything on your own.
Not right now.
I just don't like or I don't think it's ideal that everybody's full check
Mhm.
is accounted for each month.
Oh no, for sure.
That's
No,
what I'm
right,
saying. So
right.
like, even if I am handling the bulk of the
Yeah.
weight, and she's handling, like you said, subscriptions, she's
Mhm.
doing trips, she's
Mhm.
maybe doing groceries,
Mhm.
stuff like that. I just feel like it should never be 50-50. It maybe should be 80-20, 60-40, something like
Mhm.
that,
Mhm.
because there has to be some investing
Right.
money.
Mhm.
There has to be some saving money.
Right.
There
You
has
gotta
to
make
be
sure your
some
partner's
rent.
doing that
that's
too, though.
and that's
Right,
what
right.
and
True,
that,
yeah,
and that's
true.
what I said. Like, I just feel like all men should have more, like, their foundation should be figured out before you involve any lady into your life. I just always felt like that.
I think now, absolutely. But like, you got to think about like maybe like when our parents were coming up, my parents went straight from their parents' houses to their own house. They
Mhm.
never had their own single dwelling by
Right.
themselves.
Oh,
Right.
So it's totally different now.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
totally different.
Yeah. We have it harder.
We
Oh,
have
good.
it way
We have
harder.
It, we have
Sure.
we have it way
I
harder.
tell my mom all the time, my 35 is not the same as your 35.
No, not even
Hell no.
close.
You were married with 3 kids. You were
Yeah.
married for what, 14 years at that point?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I ain't
Yeah.
even there. Oh, I'm not there yet.
Right.
No.
Right.
And $100 in the 80s and the 90s,
Man,
and
what?
$100
He was balling.
How much
different.
was gas back then? Let's not
Right.
talk about
Under $1.
But see,
Yeah.
the reason why I'm having a hard time saying like it's not realistic for somebody to take care of all of it is because, prime example, I'm doing it right now.
for sure.
You get what I'm saying? I live by
Yeah.
myself.
Same.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Same.
so it's like it's not. I get what people say,
Right,
but at the same time,
right.
Yeah.
I'm doing it right now. So why can't a grown man do it?
But that makes it harder for
Right.
people, a man, to come into your situation because you're not about to bring me down.
No, right.
Exactly.
So no, right.
Exactly.
that's what we was
And that
saying.
goes back to dating.
That goes
dating
back
inside
to
your tax bracket.
what
It
we
makes
were
it
talking
different.
about. Like,
on
you have,
your P's and Q's.
Yeah.
you
Because
have,
if I'm doing this by myself now and then you come in and I
Right,
start falling by
right.
the wayside.
Or you tell me I gotta go 50. I'm like,
yeah, no.
if I can do the whole, thing by
Yeah.
myself.
but that's
nah.
what,
You
but
can
that's
stay
what
where you
laying,
at.
that's what laying that foundation down is about.
Yeah.
Like, if somebody's coming in and they're talking to you, like, they gotta figure out, like, do they want to go the full length with you,
Yeah.
because they know what you about, right?
Right.
Like, so don't go looking for a Montclair when you can only get
Or nothing.
a baby fat jacket.
Damn.
Yeah,
Even go that
But
low.
we can go that low.
But is
A
that
flight jacket.
You that a rainbow.
Damn.
But that's the crosstalk I wanted to talk about, because I do believe you can date outside your tax bracket
don't think so.
at
Mm.
first, right?
What you
Here's
mean?
why I say that.
Yeah.
Here's why I say that, right? I believe it's mentality. And I was just talking to my boy Jay about this regarding what the type of employees that you hire.
Mhm.
People with that hustler mentality,
Mhm.
they can be put in whatever situation
And get themselves out.
and they can get where they need to get. Here's what, but let me finish. So, like, say I'm dating you,
Mhm.
okay, and I have, a small house. I have my cars, and I have, what I have. Then you have a big house, cars, and everything. If I wanted to date you, I would, I would look at your house as a rental property to take care of what we're going to go into. Where maybe my income may not can take care of that house, but if we make that a rental, like that's what I'm saying, the hustler mentality will find out a way to say, okay, we can use what we now have because we're together, and we could finance where we're going. So now my income plus using your house as a rental property could take care of you know what I'm saying?
You're speaking from a dream, because it's not you're not gonna go in a situation and somebody's gonna let go of their property. Or
no, they're not letting it go. It's becoming a
right.
a
So you
commodity.
have to also be with somebody that understands that.
Yeah.
And it's not a lot of people that do.
Right. That's why I said I think it's more. I don't think it's tax bracket, but I think it's mentality.
I think I agree when we were younger. And granted, people can, people do what they want to do, but at this age, I don't need you to have a hustle mentality. I need you to already be there.
Yeah,
because we don't have time for the trial and error, and I hope this works. And if it don't work, no.
Right.
But do you miss out on a potential?
I don't need
person?
potential. I need him to be potential.
You can't fall in love. You cannot fall in love with potential.
Yeah, I need him to be
I've
potential.
absolutely learned that.
But what she's saying is she's not with the gamble.
Yeah, not anymore.
That's a gamble, right?
And that's what I was saying on the last show.
Right.
Love is a risk. Love is a gamble in itself.
But you need
but the foundations need to be checked
solid.
off. Like that's 100%. That's 100%. If she know where all her money coming from, she want to make sure that he has official money coming in that's like nonstop.
Right.
Right.
We can't gamble with that.
Not he got his own business, but he made $15,000 last month, but next month he ain't making nothing.
So I met a guy, and I'm trying to still fight my point here. I met a guy. I'm at the gym. I see his car, and then I see another car that I know is his significant others, and I was like, man, I gotta meet this guy. And
talking about them G wagons. Oh my bad.
So, I see these cars, and I know the type of cars they are. Somebody's got money.
Right.
That Bentley Motorsport is not. You got to have something to get it.
Right.
And so with that being said, I wanted to meet him. So I meet him, and I'm asking about his story, and because I have a show that I want to do called LA Ask. And I said, I want to interview on there. He's like, I'm a private person, but I can mentor you. So anyway, his story is this. His story is he met his wife during the downfall where he lost it all, and the real estate market when it first crashed. Okay. This is why I'm talking about mentality. He did not at the time have the income, but he did have a plan. He did have something like he had a game plan, a blueprint. He knew what he wanted to do, but he just suffered a crash and a lot of betrayal. He meets her, phenomenal woman. She likes him. All he can offer at the time was good. You know what? And he tells her that. He said, that's all I can offer right now. But I know how to get to it. She believed in him, and now his blueprint and his plan was able to pull her from her job, and now she works with him, and now they have all that they have.
Right.
That's why I'm asking, in that type of a situation, a bum with a bum mentality, he becomes a mooch. But somebody with a plan, somebody with know-how, could even take. You may have two businesses at the time of meeting, but you may meet that guy who could turn that business into now you're a franchise or whatever. So that's why I say, and because I've seen it, and I've seen it too many times, and that's why that's why I say dating outside the tax bracket for me, I do get it, because I actually stopped talking to someone last year because of that. It was just too much.
Right.
And so, and I didn't want to keep doing that to myself. And it wasn't too much because I don't have it. It went back to the mentality. Her priority and where she was was trips every weekend, she's in the finance industry. So when they on the week when they're not working, they party, they go on trips, they do spontaneous stuff.
Right.
My money not set up for spontaneous. My money is set up for thought out and well planned.
Right.
You know what I'm
So,
saying? So that's why I was saying, like, that's why I said mentality is more so for me than.
But see, me, the way I look at it, and granted, everybody got their own perspective on things, but the way I look at it is, if you good with money or you good with the hustle mentality, you would have never crashed out like that.
Huh?
No, because
well, the
for
real
me,
estate that crash was a crash.
It is, but if you good with money, or if you got a plan, like you said, you would have had a backup plan. So when that happened, you wouldn't have been like, all I got to offer is this, because like for me, I have my business, but it can look just a little shaky. You can ask her, and I'd be like, let me see if this hotel hiring real quick. Like, I'm not gonna get to that point before I be like, let me have a plan. Nah, when the client started feeling a little bit, nah.
Typically,
I think with situations like that though, it's a little different. Like when the real estate market crashed, like that was a global thing. Yeah. Or not global.
Because I mean, Bank of America even had to get brought.
So situations like that, I can understand.
Yeah.
Now,
I understand it, but why you don't have nothing else in place? That's the only thing you banking on.
I mean,
anything can happen.
You gotta think of
ain't no grace.
Like a lot of people.
J Street ain't no grace.
I didn't
say it's no grace. I'm just saying, like, you need to have a backup plan.
Right, but a lot of guys, he may have came from a spot where he was just trying to change his life. So a lot of street people come from the streets, and then they just decide to do real estate. So he might have dumped a lot of money into real estate, trying to get away from his old life, and it was going good for a minute, but then it, you know what I'm saying, it crashed. But like you were saying, if he had a plan, depending on what type of man he was, and if he always held his word in that relationship, that would have caused her to either trust him along that process.
But betrayal sometimes, and when you're talking about that type of a thing, betrayal can play a lot into that. When you're talking about empires who have partners, right? Sometimes that crash is not just because of you didn't have a plan or something. Sometimes you got screwed. You know what I'm saying? And so, you know, I don't want to go talk about that too much, but but I'm also
it's way deeper than what we
right. But it's, you know, that's just how I view things. That's all.
So
I always have a backup plan.
So how do you vet that?
What you mean?
How do you vet all the things that we're talking about? Having a backup plan is obviously something that you is on your list. How do you vet that in the dating process? What are things you look for? What do you do? Tests? Do you watch?
First, you have to have the uncomfortable conversations early. You cannot wait until a year in to start asking somebody about somebody's finances. No matter how uncomfortable it may be, no matter how what you worry about my money, all like you gotta start early. If you see a future with that person, start early.
For sure.
Me and my boyfriend started talking about money and marriage and all of that within the first 3 months of us dating.
Yeah, I talked about it all too.
Why are we waiting past that?
Ain't no need
at this big age.
Ain't no need. And when you talk to a certain caliber, like women that you know that has it going on all the way, as a man, you have to be ready for those questions.
You have to, or else you're gonna get offended.
Like you have to, and if you're not secure and all that, you need to just be like, "Nah, this just ain't for me."
You know how many times I heard, "You got it, big money." I don't want to hear that. You got it, big money. It's not cute. As a man, to a woman, it's not. So y'all, please stop that.
Yeah,
it's not.
You got it. So I've never said that. What does that mean?
That means I see that you have more money than me, and
I'm
so
you're gonna pay for it?
Huh?
No, it's just like if you.
I feel like it's excused if like say we all got money.
Right.
It's different when you say it to somebody that got money,
but when you're dating, and that guy clearly sees that you have it together, and he's intimidated. Oh, now you big money.
Yeah.
So it's the big money, not the you got it part. Because I thought you were saying that somebody was like making you pay.
But it's in a way.
No.
They're not making you pay, but it's almost like if I want to do, I'll make you pay.
Yeah. I think it's more so on the lines of like that was crazy. I don't think I can keep up with that.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's one of them type of like
Exactly.
you know
Because
what
I
I'm
say that to
saying?
my guy friends, but I've never said that to her.
No, yeah, no, we.
That's what I said.
I
I said that to
you
mine
speak,
sometimes, like,
yeah. You when you know everybody good, you can play like that.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
you know what I'm saying. You
Mm-mm.
just
Yeah, that's a good one.
But when you dating and a guy tell me that, it's an automatic no.
So
Right.
when they start, I get what you say now. So when they start, because that's hating too.
right.
Low key.
Absolutely.
That's
mapping
low
her
key.
out.
Low
He
key.
mapping her out. He
Why?
watching.
Yeah.
So let's go off relationships. When friends do that, I don't like it.
don't
Here's
know.
here's
It depends on
why.
what kind of
Here's
friend
Yeah, I do that with them.
You gotta,
Hey,
you gotta
I'm-
keep that company. You keep a
Yeah,
little.
yeah.
No,
minimum.
I'm telling you, bro. When you start winning, and different ones who loved you where you were,
Mm-hmm.
they'll start saying stuff like that.
I
yeah.
don't know. I
And,
honestly
and then
say
sometimes it'd be like, where that's
Hey,
coming
look,
from?
man.
That's what was in there all along.
that was in the back of their head.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
I think that was in our younger days though. I
I
don't
don't have
have
friends like
nobody
that.
like that no more.
Okay.
And like
Me
any
neither.
of my friends, like that's what like real close. We done all helped each other
No,
out
yeah,
in
yeah.
ways that.
But I'm
like,
talking about like a social. I'm talking about people not in the close circle. I'm talking
oh,
about when I see that, like if it's somebody new that I'm vetting,
Mm-hmm.
when I hear that, I'm
Oh, yeah,
done.
no.
I'm good
mhm.
because it's, like you said, it's a sign of intimidation,
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
and I like that you said that because it goes both ways. It's not just in dating;
Mm-hmm.
it's and even with family,
Yeah,
even
family
with
and friends.
associates, business partners, people that you're looking to maybe connect with on something.
Mhm.
That is a true sign of intimidation when people start counting your pockets.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's
You know?
it's crazy. Because something on the lines of that of like, but not saying it as being intimidated. Like when you see certain people, you be like, "Hey man, what's up, man? Ain't nothing. I've been trying to get like you."
Yeah.
Like that's like the same terminology.
You don't want to though.
No, right though.
Right.
You don't
But
even want to because you don't know how I got here.
Yeah.
You don't know what I've been through, nigga.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, a lot of
Lady.
people say that though. I'm just trying to get like you, dog.
Yeah. You want to get like me, but
I ain't
you
even
don't,
trying
you
to
don't,
stay-
you
I
don't,
ain't-
you don't want to do what it takes.
No,
Exactly.
you,
Yeah,
and you can have
exactly.
these bills, nigga.
Right. I ain't,
Right,
even, I ain't
right.
even trying to stay like me. I'm trying to be somebody else.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yo,
I just trying to be
that's-
like you whole time.
No,
I'm
for
so
real.
lost.
But anytime somebody like have said that to me, I just be like, be better.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Be better, cause
Please.
you don't never know what anybody got going on. Like, shoot, I just cashed out on an engine or a transmission, or I done had to dump some bread. Like, you ain't
Oh,
you
yeah.
ain't trying to do that right now, is it?
Yeah. Right.
So focus
No.
on yourself.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
How
Be
you on the
better.
plan?
Yeah, be better.
So
That's what I
let's
see.
go to the emotional